Quality care right here, right now. Click on our icon on DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The news is brought to you by Baum Chevy Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, as well as Connexus, offering fiber internet in Clinton. Click their icon on DeWittDailyNews.com to find out more. Ben Lowers defeated incumbent Sheriff Mike Walker in the race for DeWitt County Sheriff. In the Tuesday night election, Lowers, the former chief of the Clinton Police Department, won the race for DeWitt County Sheriff with 2,046 votes. Incumbent Sheriff Mike Walker received 34.7% of the vote with 1,087 votes. There were 3,133 total votes cast in the race of the 10,813 registered voters in the county. In the race for county clerk and recorder, incumbent Carrie Harris retained her position with 52.89% of the vote, getting 1,611 total votes. Randy Alsup received 47.11% of the votes with 1,435 total votes. 3,046 total votes were counted in this race. 3 winners were selected in the race for county board seats representing District B. Patrick Ryan led the way with 361 votes, getting 27.85% of the total. John Wirtz got 350 votes with 27.01% of the total polling. The 2 retained their seats on the county board. Billy J. Cooper was elected to the board with 246 votes, or 18.98% of the total. Only 8 precincts had this vote on their ballot. With 2,780 registered voters, 1,296 votes were counted. Polls closed at 8 p.m. on Tuesday night, with final results reported at 9:48 p.m. Coming up shortly on this expanded newscast, farmers encouraged to apply for state grant program. The city of Clinton has been planning for nearly 2 years for a new police and fire station and a new city hall. Tuesday morning on the WHOW morning show, Clinton Mayor Helen Michalossi told the Heart Media Group they are working to acquire property for those locations. While it has taken longer than her initial 90-day vision to find property, the mayor indicates they are getting closer to deciding on locations.
As you recall, last fall, I said 90 days. I just wanted an answer in 90 days, and that 90 days has long since come and gone. I can tell you today that Tony and I and other commissioners have been working on trying to find a location, and we hope within the next, month or so, at the latest, we should be able to identify all 3. Because the goal is to do all 3, not just a fire station. So I'm hoping we can come back on here in about a month or so, and we can tell you the location for a new police station, a new fire station, and city hall.
That sounds great.
The holdup is acquiring the property. You have to make sure we can acquire all the properties, and we wouldn't want to say where they are without the property owner's knowledge of that, because we are in the process of securing properties.
According to City Administrator Tony Harris, a lot goes into the decision for where these locations should be. He explains there is a lot to consider, including accessibility for fire department equipment, and having a central location for them to be able to get to an emergency in a reasonable time.
I tell you what, Seth, the mayor and I, we have worked, she said 90 days. So as soon as she took office, and of course I was new in my position at that time, and we have worked on this pretty much nonstop. I mean, we've had meetings, we've met with landowners and just trying to identify it. But there's a lot that goes into it, into the perfect place for it. We got to, for the fire station, it's just like, can the trucks make the turns? There's just a lot that you wouldn't think that you got to think about. And we've given it a lot of thought.
Well, and quite
we're
frankly,
almost there.
Yeah, they have police, fire, and city staff are working in a building that doesn't work. So we want to step this out carefully, Seth, so that we're aware the building that they will have going forward will be what they need for the long haul.
Mayor Michelossi and Harris say they are committed to not raising taxes to make this project happen. They note the city has reserves and are working with the city treasurer to find the dollars so taxes do not have to be raised and services won't be impacted.
Well, we've spoken to Clint, our treasurer, several times. He doesn't like those conversations because when you talk to a treasurer, there's like that conversation doesn't necessarily go like we like it to go, because our mindset is we found the place, we know what we're going to build, find the money, Clint. Well, that's what we say, and he's like, well, where am I supposed to find the money? So
I think he has, without putting this, somebody told me a while back, you don't need a $20 million. You don't need to spend $20 million on this. And I can tell you, I can't tell you an exact figure, but I can tell you it's considerably less than $20 million. The city has money to help support this, building these three, and they have access to money to do this. I would say today the answer would be no, because we're trying to figure out how to do this. I think Clint has figured out how to do this. We do have a little in reserves. The council and the people are careful as they can be with money. So we do have a little in reserves to help kick this off. And I think that securing additional money does not mean that we have to secure a tax increase.
The mayor and Harris hope to have an announcement on those parcels of property in the next month, and estimate it could be by the end of 2026 when we start to see dirt to move on those new locations. Illinois farmers, food businesses, and community organizations are being encouraged to begin applying now for a state grant program aimed at strengthening the local food supply chain. The fiscal year 2026 Local Food Infrastructure Grant Program is currently accepting applications through March 27th. But advocates say interested applicants should start the process soon because several required state registrations must be completed before submitting an application. The program supports infrastructure projects designed to help Illinois-grown food reach consumers, schools, and grocery stores. Eligible projects include cold storage, food processing equipment, transportation capacity, and food distribution systems. The Illinois Stewardship Alliance is urging farmers and food businesses to prepare early. Executive Director Liz Moran-Stelk says farmers across Illinois are ready to meet growing demand for locally produced food, but many need better infrastructure to expand and reach new markets. Since launching, the grant program has attracted some strong interest from farms, cooperatives, nonprofits, and food hubs looking to grow their operations. Previous grant recipients include Sola Gracia Farm in Urbana, which used funding to expand refrigerated transportation and distribution capacity to supply schools and food pantries. Advocates say improving infrastructure can strengthen supply chains, reduce food waste, and help keep more food dollars within Illinois communities. Applications for the grant remain open through March 27th. Once again, that is the fiscal year 2026 Local Food Infrastructure Grant Program. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Let's take a quick break with a word from our sponsors.
March into Baum Chevrolet Buick and march out with a new Chevrolet. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. We have over 20 Silverados to fit your daily work needs in 1500, 2500, and 3500s in gas or diesel, all sale priced. Also, check out the Colorado pickup. This size and maneuverability may be another option as well. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Baum Chevrolet Buick. Right from the start.
Experience the power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to fiber fast internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
News time is 19 minutes after the top of the hour. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. The University of Illinois Extension is hosting an annual event in memory of a Logan County Master Gardener. On the WHOW Morning Show Tuesday, Extension Director in Logan, Menard, and Sangamon counties, Terry Casey, told the Hart Media Group that this Saturday at 9 a.m. they will host the annual Russell Allen Garden Day at the Oasis Center in Lincoln. She says it is a day full of useful information all about gardening.
Yeah, we've got a really exciting event that happens. It's our annual Allen Garden Russell Day, and that's in Lincoln, and it's Saturday, March 21st from 9 until noon. And so we've been doing Russell Allen Garden Days for 20 plus years. And so a lot of gardeners in the area look forward to it. It's at the Oasis Center there in Lincoln, which is, if you get off the interstate, it's just right down the road, easy to find. And it's only $12 if you register in advance. It's $15 at the door if you decide you want to wait till the day of. But it is chock full of some really great programs this year. There's a couple of breakout sessions that you can choose from. So like our breakout session at 9, you can pick between tool times for your home gardener. This is really important because it shows you like what kind of tools do you need? How can you maintain them and care for them? Because we know they're expensive and we want to make sure that they're in working order and ready to go every year. Also, what's the right tool for the right job? There's a lot of different types of tools depending on what you want to do, what your abilities are. There's different tools that help out with different physical limitations that people may have. So all things tool. And then there's terrific trees and shrubs. So we know that the trees and the shrubs in our yard, they're kind of like the skeleton that we build our entire garden around. And so this will help you pick some really good trees, some great shrubs that don't become pests, that are not invasive, that are good for the natural landscape and easy to maintain. So we want those that don't have too much trouble. You plant them and you water them and you don't have to do too much else. And then breakout session 2, there's a couple of choices. You can use native plants in your yard, which is a growing trend. A lot more people are wanting to go native with their plants. There's so many good advantages to that. Mm-hmm. So how can you use native plants in your yard? And then the other choice is house plant care. And I could use a little work on this myself. So, you get those beautiful plants and, you see them in the store and your garden store and you want them, or your friends give you, or you are gifted them. And this is going to be how to care for some of those common house plants so that they thrive, they're beautiful. You don't overwater them, you don't underwater them, and you know what they need. So, and this one you can actually take home a sample. There's an additional $5 fee, but you can take some home with you, a free house plant home with you.
The day will also feature horticulture educator Ken Johnson giving the keynote seminar on pest control. He will have tips for keeping your garden safe from bugs and rodents without using chemicals.
And then we end it all with the big keynote, and that is managing pests without or with fewer pesticides. And so Ken Johnson, he's a horticulture educator in the state. He's going to come over and do this program. We know that this is something that people are wanting more and more. They want him to try to not use chemicals or to reduce their use as much as they can. We know that they have their place, but there are some negative consequences that can come from that. They can affect other species. They can be retained in the soil. So this is just learning how to manage pests in a way that's more natural and, are effective. And if you register ahead of time, it's $12. So yeah, I mean, and if you want the house plant to take with you, that's $20. I agree. It's a bargain.
Mm-hmm.
Where else are you going to get that kind of expertise in one room? And plus it's super fun because you're in a room in an event center full of other gardeners and people who want to know more. And they can run from a very, very novice person who's like, I just want to get started, to people who are, have been doing this for decades, are master gardeners, or will be on hand, who have years of experience. It's just a really great way for gardeners to get together, learn more, and commune.
The namesake of the event, Russell Allen, was a Logan County Master Gardener. Again, it takes place this Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon at the Oasis Center in Lincoln. Register and then learn more at extension.illinois.edu/LMS. March is National Nutrition Month. Monica Nyman with the St. Louis District Dairy Council explains that during this month, we should be focused on making informed food choices, developing healthy eating habits, and participating in physical exercise. She adds that the theme for this year is Discover the Power of Nutrition.
Sure. This campaign is by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, and it's celebrated every March. And really, it focuses on the importance of trying to make informed food choices, but also developing healthy eating and physical activity habits. And so every single year, there's a different theme. And so this year's theme is called Discover the Power of Nutrition. And really, it just encourages people to look at how everyday foods kind of work together to support your overall health and well-being. Because, the nutrition of the foods that we're eating, those can really be a powerful tool. Kind of, if you want to think about it as kind of like a tool in the toolbox of either preventing chronic diseases or even sometimes treating chronic diseases. And so the Academy of Nutrition, again, that organization is a trusted source of food and nutrition information. They also offer other things on nutrition and health, whether it's meal planning and prep to choices that can help prevent or manage health conditions. But it's a wonderful organization that really just focuses on the importance of eating and health.
Weekly messages are a part of the month to remind of those good habits. Nyman says the first was powering your day with nutrition. Still to come this month are find advice backed by science, stay nourished on any budget, and feel good with healthy habits.
Sure. So week one, it focuses on kind of powering your day with nutrition. And we just encourage listeners to choose healthy foods from all food groups. You might have heard me say in the past, but the more colorful your diet is, the healthier it is. So that is something that you can kind of think about as you're preparing your different types of foods. Try to pick different things. You want to have a variety of nutrients. And then, as a registered dietitian, we do try to steer people away from fad diets because a lot of times those are really just unnecessary restrictions. They're also hard to follow long term, and they don't really teach you anything to be able to maintain that weight loss. Week two, which is find advice backed by science. In today's world, there is so much nutrition information out there from influencers on social media. So really try to make sure that the information you're getting is from an accurate source. Just as a reminder, a registered dietitian in the local area can specialize in your unique needs. And so reach out to your healthcare provider if you're interested in scheduling an appointment with someone. And then later on in the month, we're going to focus on week three, which is stay nourished on any budget. So trying to learn how to cook and prepare meals at home. It's going to save you a lot of money. If you need local resources, you can look into WIC or maybe local food banks. And then week four, finally, is feel good with healthy habits. So this kind of focuses on really home food safety. So making sure that when you're preparing your food or cooking it, you're washing things appropriately to kind of prevent, foodborne illnesses and things like that. Trying to plan in advance so that you are avoiding what we call mealtime stress, where you get home from work and you don't have a plan. And so you reach for something that might not be as good for you. And then finally, including physical activities in a way that works for you. So what works for your schedule? What do you enjoy? What's going to get you motivated to burn off some calories or increase some muscles? Everybody's a little bit different in that area, but we do like to throw in physical activity as well.
Alongside National Nutrition Month is the release of new dietary guidelines for Americans, and we'll have more on those changes in the days ahead from the Heart Media Group. Illinois Farm Bureau young leaders are promoting a Hoops for Hunger bracket challenge as the NCAA tournament is set to tip off.
And this is a similar program that we did a couple of years ago. It was called March Madness Bracket Challenge, but we rebranded it last year. And it's the same concept. You are able to fill out 10 brackets for the March Madness competition for the collegiate basketball for the men's bracket. You go to our website, you fill out the brackets. You can fill up to 10, and each bracket is worth $10. So you can donate up to $100 for the 10 brackets, and all of the money raised will be given to the winner of the bracket, and they are able to distribute that money to a local food pantry in their community.
Illinois Farm Bureau Young Leader Program Coordinator Perry Harlow says you can also find information at the Illinois Farm Bureau Young Leaders Facebook page. The brackets must be entered before the first round games on Thursday. Now for your local obituaries. Brian Howie Reeves, 78, of Clinton, passed away at 11:30 a.m. March 10th at his residence in Clinton. A celebration of Howie's life will be August 23rd, 2026. The location of the celebration will be announced at a later date. Calvert Funeral Home in Clinton is in charge of arrangements. Memorials may be directed to Second Chance Pet Adoption. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com. That's DeWitt County's #1 source for news, sports, police blotter, obituaries, and more. Best of all, it's all free all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com. Network news is now.
SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. Senate Republicans have advanced the Save America Act requiring ID and proof of citizenship to vote. Democrats oppose the bill. Israel's defense minister says the Iranian intelligence chief is dead, killed by the Israeli military. Israel Katz adds that significant surprises are expected throughout this day on all fronts. Venezuela has defeated the U.S. by a score of 3-2, winning its first World Baseball Classic. A GOP-led House committee has subpoenaed Attorney General Pam Bondi to answer questions about the Jeffrey Epstein investigation and the files relating to the case. Bondi has been ordered to appear for a deposition on the 14th of April. On Wall Street, the Dow futures are up 231 points. NASDAQ futures higher as well. More details, srnnews.com.
A Social Security update. 70 million Americans collect Social Security benefits today, and millions more will join soon. Now, a new study finds 70% of Americans don't get the full benefits they deserve. But recipients can use simple strategies to boost Social Security benefits by as much as $188,000 over a lifetime. Social Security expert Michael Allen says it's true and reveals 5 key strategies to increase your benefits. It's all in his free special report. Newsmax calls the report your best guide for bigger Social Security benefits. Whether you're getting benefits or soon will, you need the Social Security report. Get it free. Call 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. We'll text it to you right away, along with President Trump's act cutting your Social Security taxes. Call now, 800-999-9690. 800-999-9690. Text and data rates may apply.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times today, with daytime highs approaching 52. Winds out of the southwest 10 to 15 miles per hour. Lows level off around 36. Tonight, cloudy skies expected. High of 63. Tomorrow, a blend of clouds and sun. Hear weather twice an hour or online anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Right now, it's 31 degrees.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. Illinois Fighting Illini team leaders called a players-only meeting last weekend after an early exit from the Big Ten tournament. It allows the Fighting Illini to regroup as they await the chance to reset for the NCAA tournament. Third-seeded Illinois meets number 14 seed Penn in a South Region first-round game on Thursday in Greenville, South Carolina. The Illini are 24-8 and hope it's a springboard to additional road trips in the next 3 weeks. Illinois will meet a familiar foe, at least on the opposing bench. First-year Quakers coach Fran McCaffrey guided Big Ten rival Iowa for 15 seasons before being fired a year ago. On Sunday, McCaffrey became the 5th coach to lead 5 or more schools to the NCAA tournament as Penn edged top-seeded Yale 88-84 in overtime to win the Ivy League tournament and finish the regular season at 18-11. It's a group that could have a different makeup than during that occasion. Penn senior forward Ethan Roberts, the team's leading scorer at 16.9 points per game, missed the conference tournament with a concussion, and his status for Thursday is uncertain. Junior forward TJ Power, who previously played at Duke and Virginia, torched Yale for 44 points and 14 rebounds and averages 16.8 points per game. He knows the Quakers face a tougher test in Illinois, but also feel the team is up for the challenge. To be sure, Illinois brings size with the 6'2" Boswell, the only starter listed below 6'6". All 5 starters average in double figures, led by Big Ten Freshman of the Year Keaton Wagler with 17.9 points per game. Andrei Stojakovic and David Mirkovic follow at 13.4 points per game. Wagler shoots 42.2% from long range, one of multiple threats from deep. Matt Zuccarello scored 3 minutes and 9 seconds into overtime, and the Minnesota Wild stopped a 3-game slide by topping the Chicago Blackhawks 4-3 on Tuesday night. Marcus Johansson had a goal and 2 assists as Minnesota improved to 3-0 against Chicago this season. Vladimir Tarasenko and Ryan Hartman also scored, and Brock Faber had 3 assists. Philip Gustafsson made 21 saves for the Wild, and Jesper Wallstedt stopped 2 shots. Gustafsson departed for 3 minutes and 27 seconds in the third period because of an equipment issue. The Wild had a long stint in their offensive zone before Johansson found Zuccarello for his 13th goal. Minnesota forward Nick Foligno received a warm welcome in his first game against Chicago since he was acquired in a March 6th trade with the Blackhawks. Foligno held his stick in the air and waved to the cheering crowd after he was saluted with a tribute video during a timeout in the opening period. Louis Crevier also had a goal and an assist for last place Chicago, which dropped its second straight game. Frank Nazar and Ryan Green also scored. The Blackhawks trailed 3-2 before Nazar finished on a 2-on-1 with Connor Bedard with 1 minute and 40 seconds left in regulation. Nazar has hit 4 goals and 6 assists in his last 7 games. The Wild got off to a fast start, outshooting the Blackhawks 16-7 while scoring 3 times in the first period. Kirill Kaprizov set up Hartman's 16th goal at 6 minutes and 17 seconds, and Johansson added his 14th at 7 minutes and 58 seconds. Tarasenko made it 3-1 when he whistled a wrist shot past Spencer Knight for a power play goal with 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the first. Green got one back for Chicago when he knocked in a loose puck from the low slot at 14 minutes and 35 seconds of the second period. Bedard picked up his team-high 36th assist on Green's 9th goal of the year. Minnesota played without Joel Eriksson-Ek, who is day-to-day with a lower body injury. He was replaced in the lineup by Robbie Fabry. The Wild and the Blackhawks will face each other again on Thursday night in Minnesota. In scores from around the NBA last night, the Detroit Pistons beat the Washington Wizards 130-117, while the Charlotte Hornets took down the Miami Heat 136-106. The Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Orlando Magic 113-108, and the New York Knicks beat the Indiana Pacers 136-110. The Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Milwaukee Bucks 123-116, while the Minnesota Timberwolves took down the Phoenix Suns 116-104. The Denver Nuggets routed the Philadelphia 76ers 124-96, while the San Antonio Spurs beat the Sacramento Kings 132-104. In scores from around the NHL last night, the Montreal Canadiens with a 3-2 overtime win over the Boston Bruins. The Columbus Blue Jackets routed the Carolina Hurricanes 5-1. The New York Islanders beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-1, while the Nashville